connect into our breaths. So we will find a nice comfortable position in your chair. Plant your feet, allow your hands to rest. Allow your back against the back of the chair. Taking a nice big inhale, filling up your lungs and your belly. And then exhaling the air back out. Just taking the next few minutes just to tap into our breath. Start to bring our mind, our attention, our focus inward. Bringing our thoughts to our body. Trying to stay present in this moment for the next hour. As you inhale that air in, feel that fill up all the way from your belly around to your back. Maybe even your lower back is pressing a little bit more into the chair, expanding out into the chair. And then on the exhale, releasing that air out. Letting your belly deflate. And anytime over the course of this session, you start to feel your mind wander. Notice yourself thinking about things outside of this room, outside of your body. Just bring your attention and your focus back to your breath. And feel that inhale in and that exhale out. You can take a few more rounds of breath, allowing yourself to turn inward. So your ears don't have to be listening to me. Everything is on your body. Keep your eyes closed if that feels comfortable. I'm going to have you bring your hands down to the sides and just let them drop down. Turn your palms towards me and then lift those shoulders up towards your ears, squeezing up and then pulling back down and back. Take a few rounds, lifting the shoulders up, right up towards your ears. And then pulling down and back. Your fingertips reaching down towards the ground. Your shoulder blades pulling back and together. Lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. And then pulling down and back. Fingertips towards the ground. Shoulder blades down and back. And your head lifted up towards the ceiling. We're going to do that one more time. Shoulders will come up. And then bringing back down. Feeling those feet plant into the ground. Maybe feeling your stomach and your core getting a little stronger. Maybe bringing your back just slightly away from the back of the chair. And lifting that head up towards the ceiling. We're in a seated mountain pose right now. So just taking 2 more breaths here. Feeling the strength through your body in just this position. If at any time throughout the session, things are not feeling right in your body, Or if you don't want to do all of the standing exercises, come right back to this position. You'll feel the strength. You're working lots of parts of the body. You're still getting a good benefit here. So this is a great spot to come back to. Let's just take those shoulders now and roll them back. Finding some movement here to wake things up. Maybe it's both shoulders together, maybe it's one, then the other. Maybe it's some unique combination of both. However you want to move those shoulders. And then maybe we make these motions a little bit bigger, circling out all the way around through our hands, our arms, to our fingers. Whatever range of motion you have. We'll high five to whoever you're around. And then we'll start to slow that movement, maybe bringing it back to just the shoulders. And then once you're there, taking your time, we're going to move forward. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two. And then you can bring this bigger and bigger if you'd like. Starting to circle those arms forward. Getting a nice big range of motion, or as big as you'd like that to be. And then slowly bringing that back smaller and smaller until we get just our shoulders. And then you can shake those out, let those relax. We're going to come to our neck now, just circles from left to right. If you're moving those shoulders, you might feel a little tension through that neck. We'll just circle from side to side. If the movement's feeling good, left to right. If you want to stay at any spot and give a little extra stretch anywhere along the way, feel free. Next time your chin is at your chest and you're in the middle, we're just going to allow that to hang a little bit. Maybe you'll feel a little rounding all the way from your lower back all the way up to the neck. Just feeling that whole spine get a little bit of stretch. Allowing your head to hang heavy, not forcing the head down, but just allowing it to drop down. We'll slowly lift the head back up to neutral. We'll inhale our arms up and then bring those back just to support your head. And then we're going to allow ourselves to arch back over the back of the chair. Your head rests right back into your hands, nice and gentle. Allow this to be a nice opening stretch, not too intense. Maybe your breath is a little more shallow in this position. We're going to inhale all the way up. And then we're going to allow our hands to drop down. Maybe we'll reach down to the ground, slowly rolling forward to a seated forward fold. If that floor is feeling too far away, just bring your elbows up to your knees and just start with some, just a rounding through your back in this position. Maybe a little side to side, a little sway through your trunk, through the shoulders. Feeling a little bit of opening. Trying to allow the head to hang heavy. And
And then come to just a moment of stillness here, allowing that stretch to sink in, gravity to give you a little cool down. And then keeping your head relaxed down, we're going to slowly come up from our lower back, raising up, then to our mid back, upper back, and then our head will be the last thing to raise up.
We'll inhale those arms up. Interlace your fingers. Maybe the pointer fingers stay up, and we'll just tick-tock side to side. Taking this as big or small as you'd like. If that motion's too much through your arms, you can just bring the hands in front of your chest and allow yourself to sway side to side as far as you feel comfortable. And then the next time you're on the right side, we'll meet there. If you prefer the motion, go ahead and keep moving side to side. If you'd like just a little bit of a stretch here, we're going to get a little bit deeper to the right. And then inhale up, and we'll bring it over to the left. And maybe a little deeper stretch to the left. And then inhale up. Allow those arms to float down, nice and slowly. Bring our hands in front of us. We're going to do a little seated twist. So maybe just start by kind of twisting the elbow towards the opposite knee. Just seeing what kind of range of motion there is. And maybe does that elbow touch the knee? It does help maybe if you scooch forward and widen your knees just a little. Play around with it, see where you kind of feel the most comfortable in this position. Now you can continue to rotate side to side, or the next time we're on the right side, maybe we'll just pause there, allow that arm to kind of link over the knee, and just hold for a breath. And then we'll inhale, we'll turn to the left, maybe catching that elbow right on the outside of the knee. You've got that much twist. Stay here for a breath. And then we'll inhale to rise up. And let's take one more forward fold here, allowing yourself to reach for the ground. Maybe just checking how that feels now. If that's still feeling far away, bringing those elbows up to your knees. Maybe that floor is close enough where you can at least get your fingertips to the ground,
And then allow your head to hang heavy.
and using gravity just to pull down through the head, through the spine,
Releasing as much as you can. And then again, slowly, one part of the back at a time is reaching up, keeping your head hanging heavy.
and then allowing your head to be the last thing to come up. We'll bring our hands to our knees. We're going to take a few cat and cows before we go into our core breathing. So if you inhale and you allow your chest to come forward, gaze up to the sky, you'll feel an arch in your back, and then exhale to push back.
Tuck your chin, round your spine.
And then inhale and exhale back.
Taking this at your own pace, so whatever
pace your breath is at, allow your movements to follow your breath. Or maybe you stay a little longer in one spot.
Maybe you need a few breaths in the cat or a few breaths in the cow. Never really remember which is which.
We both can look like a cat, in my opinion. because I've never had a cow. And if you want to add kind of any side motions too, just taking any last movements that will help open up the spine before we go into our strengthening and our balance. And then when you're ready, we'll find a seated position. We're going to take a few rounds of our diaphragmatic breathing where we connect into our pelvic floor and our core muscles. So on your inhale, allow everything to relax. Your pelvic floor releases. Your stomach muscles release and you fill with air. On that exhale, you feel that pelvic floor come together. Those hip bones will pull together as you lift up, and then you'll feel your belly button pull back to engage your transverse abdominis, and then your rib cage will pull down together. On your exhale, on the inhale, release and fill with air. We're taking a few more breaths there. Maybe today you're paying extra close attention to the pelvic floor. Many women in particular kind of walk around their pelvic floor very tight most of the day. So just see if you can find that release and the contraction of your pelvic floor today. We'll just take a few more rounds of breath. If you're feeling good with this, really try on the exhale to feel a real strong, tight exhale, a real strong engagement through those core muscles. Or maybe you're just trying to get it all to work together still, and that's fine. We'll take one more inhale when you're ready. And then one more exhale, tightening, engaging. Now we're going to keep that engagement. Maybe we're going to add, so you'll inhale even with everything still engaged and tightened. We'll just add a little bit of leg motion, lifting one leg, then the other. Scooch to the edge of your chair for a little bit of a challenge. Keep your core engaged and you won't have the back there. Maybe you want to take it into both legs, trying to get to that almost like a boat pose, making sure that you kind of tuck in to lift the legs. Or maybe you stay with marching. All perfect options. If the marching is too much too, you can also just go with kicking the legs out one at a time, just sliding against the floor. And then we'll release down and take a nice inhale to release that pelvic floor, release the core muscles. We're going to make our way up to standing for our strengthening and our balance. Feel the eye rolls. On our way up, we're going to stop at a chair pose. If you would like to just find your mountain pose and meet us when we're up there, you can. Or if you want to do a standing mountain pose and head on up now, you can. Or if you would like to do the chair pose, we're going to come to the edge of our chair. Bring those feet back underneath you. We'll reach the arms out to give a little help, and then we'll lean forward onto our feet, and then we're going to hold. Give this a few breaths. Going all the way up to standing whenever you need to. If you can just hold for a breath or two, and then you need to stand up, go right ahead. You want to keep your rear back as if you were going to touch down to that chair. Let's hold for one more breath. Those hands can can come in for less stress through your core. Greater challenge is to keep them out in front of you. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and rise up. Very good. All right, we're gonna do our standing strengthening. So if you'd like to turn the chair so you've got some room. We're gonna be at the front of the seat of the chair. All right. So we're going to do kind of the same idea we did last time. We're going to just flow a little bit faster today. So I'll talk you through it. We're going to inhale the arms up. So seated, you can do this as well. And then we'll exhale the arms down. You can do a little forward fold. Back to downward dog. Taking a moment here just to open up your legs so you can pedal through your feet. Taking your feet about as wide as the chair legs and keeping just a little bend in the knees. Onto our hands to find a plank position. Those feet may scooch back just a little bit to find a nice diagonal position to the ground. Maybe you want to add in a little plank, push-up in your plank. Maybe you just hold. Okay, we're going to bring our left leg underneath the chair. So you'll see your toes will go underneath the front of the chair. And your back right leg will stay there. We'll find almost a lunge position. So maybe dip that back leg down just a little. And then back up. Maybe you take your left hand and you reach it up. This is almost finding a high crescent lunge. If you're feeling really good here and you want the full, it'll be both hands. That's a full high crescent lunge. Whoa, very nice. Wow. I didn't even get laughed at that time. We're going to step that left leg back to plank. Very nice. And then if you want to add a little push up there, you can. Or let's tuck our feet, pushing back to a downward dog. Feeling a nice big stretch to the back of your legs. Feet are about as wide as the chair. Your arms are between your hands. You're pushing your hips back to the back of the room. What did I say?
Your arms are between your hands.
No, between your biceps.
Head.
So many words, so many body parts.
Well, at least they're listening.
Yes, that's true. We're going to roll forward to the plank again. Just take a breath here. Feel that strong core engagement. And then we're going to bring our right leg under the chair. Your toes will kind of be underneath. It'll be right in the center of the chair. Back leg, we'll just do a little lunge with that back left leg and then back up. And then if you want to take your right arm up for a kind of half a high crescent lunge, your chest will kind of come up with it. You'll feel a little arch through your lower back. Maybe the other arm wants to see if you feel comfortable there.
This is where we laugh.
This is
You?
Or keep both hands on the chair too. That's totally fine. We'll plant that hand down. We'll step that right leg back. Let's pause in the plank for just a breath. Then we'll tuck the heels under moving all, kind of shifting the weight all the way up to the hips and your low back. So you're feeling kind of a stretch all the way through the legs, the lower back. Looking good. So your hands should be pretty well, no weight on them for this downward dog. Your hands are just kind of rested on the chair. Not a lot of weight. Most of the weight is through your legs and feet right now. Let's take that high crescent lunge-like pose one more time on each side. So we'll step our left leg under the chair, and we'll step that right leg back. And then you kind of press up, lifting up your chest, gazing out in front of you. Maybe that's enough right there, or you can add in 1 or 2 hands. I would start with your left hand. And then if that's feeling good, you can try adding it. As you lift the other hand, your chest will come kind of up higher, so you're almost upright with your chest, and your hands are reaching up towards the sky. They can be at a diagonal too, that's totally fine. We'll plant those hands back down. We'll step that left leg back, pedal through the feet, and then when you're ready, we'll step the right foot underneath, pulling that left foot back just a little bit so you're in that lunge position. And then from here, the chest lifts up. Maybe we lift the right. Maybe you lift the left. And then you can plant the hands down when you're ready. Take as much time here as you'd like. And we'll step the back foot to the front. And we'll find just a little forward fold. Maybe pedaling through those legs again. And then a nice big inhale as we rise up to standing. Very nice. We'll flip those chairs back around. Need a drink. Before we move into our balance. Let's start by just finding mountain pose in standing. So similar to what we found at the beginning of the session, now we're just standing, so you want to make sure once you're up, you feel your feet are really kind of planted into the ground, all around your feet, inside, outside, front, back, nice and even throughout your feet. And then you can lift your kneecaps by engaging your quads. So you'll feel a tightening at the front of your knees and the front of your thighs. And then you'll feel that core engagement, that pelvic floor lifting. And you'll feel your shoulder blades pulling down and back. And you can hold on to the chair, or you can allow your hands to face up towards me. And you'll feel your head lifting up towards the ceiling. Few breaths here to feel the strength, feel this position. And then if you'd like, you can add in some heel raises. Going up nice and slow, maybe pausing up top. And then slowly lowering back down. We'll just take a few rounds of that, going up as high or as low as you'd like. Maybe you use a hand on the chair, maybe you use none, maybe you do try one foot, up and down, and then switch, try the other foot, up and down. You can have your legs wider, you can have your legs closer for greater challenge. I'll give you a little bit of time just to play around with those options. that, we'll stand on our right leg. We'll find a tree pose. Maybe you're going to kickstand that foot up and just the toes will touch the ground. Or maybe you'll work that up. Leg up a little bit higher so it's off the ground. Again, feeling a nice strong quad on that standing leg. And then maybe the hands stay on the chair. Maybe they come in front of your chest. Or maybe they reach up and grow up. And again, the wiggle wobbles are good. That means you're challenging your balance. If you fall out of it, just come back in. If you're holding this pretty well, just make sure this hip that you're standing on, you're lifted up and out and not sinking into it. Just a little piece to check. We'll give this just about 2 more breaths. And then we'll release down. We'll switch sides, finding this on the opposite side. So we're standing on your left leg now. Kickstand that foot up. Maybe you stay there, or we reach that foot up. Finding your version here. Hands stay, come in front of the chest, or maybe they reach up, or maybe not. And if or when you fall out, just try to come back in, maybe kind of bringing it back up and seeing how far you get. Beautiful. We'll give it 2 more breaths here, so play around with the position you want. If you've fallen out, you got a chance to come back in. And then we can release down. Very good. All right. Let's take a moment in our Warrior 3 that we did in the last session. I'll just shake those legs out for a minute, give them a little break. So the Warrior 3 is the one where we're holding onto the chair. We kind of tilt the head down as the leg comes out. So if we stand on our right leg first, start with the chair. As that back leg lifts up, your head will come down, working on almost a parallel chest and leg and head. Everything's in line and parallel to the ground. If you're not there, that's fine. It's a lot of stretch through that standing leg, and it's a lot of core balance. If you're there and that's feeling good, you can kind of play around with lifting one hand maybe up to the chest. I would start with your right, same arm coming up as standing. So it would be your right arm coming up. Just so you have that left hand to kind of counterbalance the leg. But if you want, you can try to just hover both hands over the chair. A full Warrior 3 would be the arms reach out in front of you. But maybe just the right arm wants to start with that. I knew I could get a laugh out of you guys. I gotta try harder and harder these days. So wherever you're at, just give that a little hold. We're gonna give that like 2 more breaths. If you fall out of it, which is fine, just try to come back in. Probably feeling that standing leg right now, which is perfect. It's probably right around your hip. You're just getting a lot of strengthening. If you're feeling it in your lower back, you may need to just engage that core a little bit more and try to keep a flatter back. You want to finish that up. You can inhale and rise whenever you're ready. Shake that leg out. And then we're going to take this on the other side. So we'll stand on your left leg. Hands can come to the chair to start to find this position. And then the leg will go out behind you. As that leg comes down, it kind of dips as the leg comes up, it dips the head down. And then you hold there. Good. Perfect. Maybe that left hand now comes to the chest. Maybe you want to just see how it feels on this side to reach it out in front. Or maybe it stays right on the chair. We'll give this a few more rounds of breath, feeling that balance, feeling the strength. These look really good. Two more breaths. Come out of it anytime you need to, though. If it's starting to get to be too much, come on out. We're all at our own pace, listening to our bodies. We'll release and come to standing. You can shake those legs out, and then we're going to have a seat. We'll come into our stretching. All right, made it through the hard parts yet again. All right, so we're going to use this warmth we've created in our bodies and stretch out our legs. We'll go ahead into our right leg. We'll bring that leg out in front, heel on the ground. We're going to find our hamstring stretch, toes up towards the ceiling. And then you can kind of fold over to feel the stretch in the back of the thigh. And as we start to slow down, connecting back into your breath, keeping your focus, your attention here on your body, and using that breath to help you. Option to bring that leg out to the side, finding a half straddle stretch as you either lean that right arm down or maybe you turn both arms down towards the leg and reach that way. Your option, whatever your preference would be. Bring that leg back in front of us. And then we'll take a few circles through that leg, staying right on the right leg. Maybe keeping those circles down if that's where you want to be, or if you'd like to give a little kind of pull in towards your chest or in towards your armpit. You can be under the knee, holding at the thigh, or you can wrap right around the whole leg, wherever it's more comfortable. Maybe a few ankle circles there. And then we'll bring that leg over. Figure 4 stretch. that bottom leg can be out straight. You can just allow that leg to kind of cross over, or keep that bottom leg up. And then fold for a deeper stretch in that hip. One more breath here, maybe. And inhale and then exhale to feel a little deeper stretch. And then go ahead and release that, maybe using the hands to help lower that leg down. Maybe a little wiggle, a circle, a shake and a jiggle on the way down. And then we'll move to the left leg, starting with that hamstring stretch here. So putting that heel out on the ground, toes up towards the ceiling. As you lean forward, or just fold at the hips. Find a nice stretch in the back of the hamstring. It's something you can hold here for several breaths, working to lengthen our muscles. Open that leg up, feeling a straddle stretch, and then either reaching the arm down or turning so that your chest is facing your knee and then reaching both hands down. Whatever your preference. And you can inhale to rise up, bring that leg in. And then again, we'll take some circles now on this side. Maybe keeping it down, or bringing that knee all the way up in towards your chest or towards the armpit, holding under the knee, or reaching, giving it a nice hug with both arms over top. Maybe a few ankle circles here. And then we'll cross that and then over for our piriformis stretch. So that leg can be right there. Bottom leg can stretch out so that the knee opens, or you can bring it up and you can fold over. Whichever option feels the best. Trying to feel this in the left buttock, hip area. one more breath here in this position. The inhale, and on the exhale, just see if there's a little deeper stretch. And then we'll unfold. Maybe some wiggle and some wobble on the way down there. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our backs. And then hold down and back. Like a nice chest opening. And then maybe as you do that, your gaze comes up. Or maybe out in front, wherever you feel comfortable. Testing out your options and sticking with the one you like the best. As you inhale here, really see if you can feel that inhale into your belly and then right up into your chest. And then on the exhale, feel it lower down. You can release your arms. Give them a little shake, and then we're going to interlace them in front. Push your palms up towards me. And as you push, I feel those shoulder blades separate. Round your back, tuck your chin. Beautiful. Feel that stretch through the shoulders, the upper back, maybe even the back of your neck. And then feel a nice big inhale. Feel that now more through your back, through your upper back. And then exhale out. One more breath here. And we'll release down. We're going to take a side body stretch, so we'll plant our right hand. We'll reach that left arm. Maybe just reaching it up towards the ceiling feels like enough, or you can go a little deeper, reaching all the way over as far as you'd like. Using that chair to really give you some support so you can allow yourself to just kind of lean into the stretch. Here, as you take a big inhale, you feel it through that left side now. Coming more to the left ribs. And then we'll float that arm down. That arm will come to the chair. As we reach your right arm up. Maybe you stop there, or maybe you go a little deeper, a little further stretch. And on this inhale, feel your right side, the right ribs, and the right side of your belly filling up with the air now. And then we'll float that arm down. And then let's just take one more extension through our back. Maybe those hands come back behind your head just to support your head, but feeling this now more in your lower and upper back. So you're allowing your back to really arch over the back of the chair. You're using that chair to give you a nice arch. We spend a lot of our time flexed forward and rounded through our spine. So taking a little extra attention to reverse that through your neck, through your back, can be real helpful. Inhale to rise, and then exhale out. Any other motions or movements you need. You want to put a sweater on, socks on. It feels warm in here today. I was wondering. You might. I'm in a nice comfortable position. And we'll come into our last few minutes of meditation. Dim the lights. Maybe you're planting your feet. Maybe you're allowing your legs to kind of open and feel really relaxed. Your back is up against the chair. Allow your eyes to close, your hands to rest comfortably. And now we're tapping back into that breath. And taking a few moments in stillness and quiet. If this is a difficult part of the hour for you, you can almost think of this as maybe it's not meditation, maybe it's just sitting with the higher powers that you have in your life and just allowing them to speak to you or to be with you. Whatever you may believe, maybe this is time to connect in with the greater powers beyond us. Or maybe those things that interlace us as humans. Maybe just finding that inner connection within you so that when you leave, you can spin those webs to other people and find the connection within the people you meet and the people you interact with. Next few minutes here to be in that stillness, however that works to you, however that speaks to you, and I will call you out in a few minutes. with your fingers. Maybe wiggle your toes. Coming back to the room. Gently bringing yourself out of your meditation. And we'll take one last inhale all together, reaching our arms up. Palms come together and we'll bring our hands to our chest. And today, maybe instead of bowing, we just look around the room and appreciate everybody that is here today and that connection that is between us. And thank you for all being here. And thank you for being you. Thank you.